Hey everybody, welcome back to Open Mic Podcast. It's been a little while since we've done this, so I'm really excited. Just if you're tuning in for the first time and you've never listened to this podcast, Open Mic means that nothing is off the table. We talk about everything and anything, and we just let the conversation take over and see where we end up. Tonight, I have two lovely people from the Knights of Columbus here in Melrose, and boy, are they doing a lot of great things that we're going to get into. I'm here with Mark Hall, and I'm here with Dean DeLillo, and I know, Mark, you and I talked at the Victorian Fair, but even since then, you guys have started to add more and more things. Tell me a little bit, just in the beginning, just tell me a little bit of what the Knights of Columbus is and what they do and their mission.
Absolutely. First off, thank you for having us here this
You're welcome.
evening. You look lovely.
Why, thank you.
Yeah, no,
I try.
You don't have to. So the Knights of Columbus, we are a fraternal organization that believes in community charity, and we do a lot of different things. There's two sides to our component. We have a council, which Dean is the Grand Knight of, and then the Building Association, which I'm on the board of directors, as well as the hall manager. So we do everything from concerts like the Beetlejuice and Tom Petty, which is coming up November 18th.
November 18th, the Rebels, right?
Yeah,
The Rebels?
Yeah, the Rebels, the Tom Petty tribute.
And some of those members are also members of Joshua Tree Band.
Yes.
So they are excellent.
Yeah, they're in a really good venue. I think you opened up for them at one point in time.
Oh, did I mention that?
If I didn't hear it.
Oh, did I throw that in there? Good for me. Okay, so November 18th. So you can get your tickets at Eventbrite or?
Yeah, you can get them on Eventbrite, melrosekovc.org for more info on the hall rentals or the concerts. And then you can buy them at the door as well.
Or
Excellent.
Miter.
What's that?
We also have them available at Miter Biter.
Oh, great. Yep.
corner
Jim
of
Halligan.
Foster and Main.
That's great. Okay, so you have a lot of different options.
And
So,
the Wakefield Bowlerdrome, right?
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
so if you're just walking downtown, go into Miter Biter and get a ticket.
Absolutely.
Get a couple tickets.
Right. Or you
Right.
can buy a table.
Well, there you
I
go.
think you can get a table for you and your friends, and just
Yeah.
make a real concert venue out of it.
All right, so you've got that. The other thing that we talked about at the Victorian Fair, and I want to go over it again because it's just, I feel like it's just like lighting up Melrose. It's like people are talking about this stuff. So Wednesday nights, you have karaoke, which is
Yes.
today.
It is. Actually,
I
we're
might be
doing-
running over.
It's a costume karaoke today.
Stop it.
Absolutely. It'll be a nice costume. Best prize for the costume. Absolutely. And the cornhole event as well. We're running simultaneously.
Okay, so the karaoke, the doors open at 6:30?
7.
7.
Yes.
And then it starts at 8?
Yes.
Okay. And then simultaneously on the first floor would be the
cornhole.
cornhole.
Yep.
Wow.
So you'll have, entertainment with the karaoke while the cornhole tournament's going on. Singles, couples, whatever you want. There'll be prizes and door gifts.
It's so nostalgic down there. Like, because I grew up here, and the first time I went in was not too long ago. I forget what it was. Probably something you guys were doing. And it's just, I don't know. There's just it's just good vibes in there,
Well, that's what we're trying to build. I mean, we're trying to be transparent. We work with the city directly. Stephanie Nelson over at the Chamber of Commerce has worked with us. We're doing the job fair coming up November 2nd for all the high
Yes.
school kids and all the local teens, to give them ideas on what type of career option they may want to go into or just a summer job.
Okay, so let's just roll back for a second. So tonight, you got two things going on simultaneously. Then Thursday night, you have open, what do you call it, open mic?
Open mic night.
Open,
Yeah.
like the
Like the
podcast.
podcast.
But this is more like people come with guitars and sing and all that kind of stuff, right?
Right. So we wanted to open up our doors to the cultural community and allow them to come in and have the artists, allow them a place to feel safe.
Yeah.
And be able to showcase their talents. And that's what we do upstairs in the members lounge. And we invite them all every Thursday as guests.
And that's the same hours, the 7.
Yeah, that's
Doors
that's-
open 7, 8.
Doors open at 6 for that.
Okay.
They start singing about 7 o'clock and they're there right till closing time.
Well, I told you, once I have a couple of Pinot Grigios, I think I sound just like Stevie Nicks. I'm like landsliding all over the place.
I didn't even think you need the liquid courage.
That's true. I'm not shy. Let's face it. So this is very exciting. Now, let's go back to the job fair. So the job fair starts, so it's November 2nd, so
November
that's
2nd.
a Wednesday.
It is.
And that is in the afternoon?
It will be from 1 to 5 downstairs. We will have 25 local businesses to include Turner's, Rising Eagle, some medical facilities, Patron's Pizza, to mention a few. And they'll all have tables set up, and kids can come by with their resumes, speak to a representative from that organization, and decide if it'd be a good fit for them or not.
I mean, it's such a win-win because obviously with the pandemic and everything, so many small businesses, not just restaurants, but small businesses need help. But, it's a lot on young kids to go, I've done it. I've said to my son, Frankie, go downtown and find a job, and it's not that easy when you have it coordinated like this. Where everybody kind of has the same mindset, there's going to be a vibe there.
Right.
It's going to have some excitement. It's going to have, people are going to feel good. The people that get employees are going to feel good. The young kids that get a job are going to feel good. I see this as an annual.
Well, that's what we're hoping. And this is a moment to empower the community on every end, from the businesses to the families to the student body, even from the Knights of Columbus, right? We want to empower each other. Because what happens when we do that? The community flourishes. And that's the most important thing, especially coming off post-COVID and all the social declines that we've had and anxieties that people now present because of the issue with being stuck in your house for a long period of time through the lockdown.
100%. Yeah. I mean, I see it in my family members. It's just, especially my children, they didn't have that expectation of like a normal life. You get up,
Right.
you get on the train, you say hi to the people sitting next to you. None of that was of demand. And so you kind of lost a little of that going on. Now tell me about what you do with the money you raise.
You know what? If you don't mind, I'm going to hand that over to Dean because I do help organize a lot of the fundraiser events, but he primarily takes care of discussing with the different charities that we work with, and he works with them directly.
Where's
Sure.
the money, Dean?
Thanks.
I'm kidding.
Follow the money.
Where's all the money?
Well, as the Knights of Columbus, not a lot of people know, but it's, as Mark said, a charitable organization. And number one tenet of it is charity. So with the goal of trying to help as many unfortunate people as we can, we do a lot of fundraisers. Even we do fundraisers within the organization, just amongst ourselves. Mm-hmm. And we also try to keep most, if not all, of the money local. So the biggest one is from the concerts, the Food for Families Fund. And the money that we raise there goes towards institutions like the Servant's Heart, which is a food pantry, My Brother's Table, which is food preparation, that's in Lynn. Bread of Life, we've supported them through all the years of their work in Malden. There's also national Knights of Columbus programs called Global Wheelchair Mission. So some of the money goes to purchasing wheelchairs for folks that can't afford it. There's a Coats for Kids program where we'll buy cases and cases of coats and then bring them to a drop-off center that can be distributed to children.
That's amazing.
For us, the greater Boston area. So
yeah. Because I'm assuming that your November fundraiser is because it's right near Thanksgiving. Does that correlate?
I guess kind of, but not intentionally.
Okay.
It's the biggest fundraiser, so it goes.
Maybe it
towards-
gets people thinking though.
Yeah, it
maybe
goes
you
towards
do
a
it
lot of-
differently, but maybe like for me, just a regular person, I'd be like, oh, that's great because, next week is Thanksgiving, so good. I'm
Right.
glad I'm going to a concert and I'm being a good person too. It's like I'm
Right. Yeah, because years
It
ago,
allows everybody.
I'm
You're a good person
multitasking.
anyway. But it allows everybody the opportunity to give back and be humble about it, and just recognize the fact that we need to support those people that are in positions that are less fortunate. I say it all the time. It's not about you. It's not about me. It's not about Dean. It's not about them. It's about us.
Yeah.
And what we can do together. But even though we're not in the same storm, or we are in the same storm, people are in different sized boats.
100%.
And we have to remember that.
I think the other thing you guys do in a podcast like this just helps us spotlight it, is you kind of take the stigma and the shame out of it. Like, I feel like if I knew somebody and they were in a tough spot, you guys are just kind of opening your arms. You're kind of saying, like, that's okay. Well, your kids are going to have coats. Don't worry about it. We're going to put food on the table. We're not letting you go. We're not letting you slide down some hill. And that's so nice to hear, especially in a world that people just think everybody's so selfish and, they're all about themselves. I mean, there's a new show coming out on, like, fancy cars. It just looks so stupid. Like, there's only one in the world. Who cares?
Right,
How do you feel good about that?
Right.
As opposed to knowing that you provided. I'll tell you a quick story. We had a family here in Melrose that had a Christmas Eve fire. I was a kid. And everybody, they had like 10 kids, and everybody in the town was just coming together, and food and clothes and all that stuff. And I was at church a couple of weeks later, and I saw the little girl in my dress. And I just remember, like, that feeling, like, she looks adorable in it. I didn't need it, and it kind of always stuck with me that, like, you may not see the end result. Usually you don't, but that's always stuck with me that,
And if that didn't humble you, I mean, I don't know what does,
Right. They're trying to get themselves together. Yeah. And it can happen to anybody. That's the other thing when you talk about the us versus them. Mental health can take you right down a road that you didn't see coming.
Right.
So,
and that's a huge problem that has been presented along with the social stigma from COVID-19 and the shutdowns.
Yep.
And we need to recognize, don't be afraid to ask for help. I'm a combat veteran, and I've suffered from PTSD and mental health issues, and I needed to, go out and get the proper therapy, but communication was key. And when you keep it in, it festers. So that's the important thing. Let's talk about it, right? Don't be ashamed. Just let somebody know I'm here to listen and be a friend.
And when you know that you're not alone, because I've told you I have 2 special needs children, and, when you first are going through that, you're in the kitchen by yourself and you're whirling and and then I got help myself, but I also joined a mother's group. And, just to sit there and have somebody say, like, a similar situation that happened to you, what a difference. You start breathing better. You start saying, geez, maybe I can handle this. Maybe we're going to be okay. And I think that's kind of your message, is you're all going to be okay, but we're all got to get our hands dirty. We got to get in. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Exactly. Okay, so I'm going to definitely have to be hitting some of these events. And then we have the other one. I know we've got a little while, but we might as well throw it out there, right, Dave? We've got the movie night.
Oh, yes. Let's plug that one.
Let's plug the you-know-what out of that.
Yes. Let's plug the open mic out of that
one. We want a lot of families, that one.
Yeah, no,
families.
this is another good example of what you guys are doing, because when I send out my save the date cards or whatever, so look in your mailbox, I'm just going to write family, like Nolan family, Hall family, because
right.
it is a family night, and I hope it does turn into that,
Right, yeah. Let's encourage the kids to bring a pillow and a sleeping bag. They can all lay on the floor, watch the movie, throw popcorn everywhere.
Absolutely, yeah.
We don't have the dogs to run around and pick up the loose corners.
But anyway, January 13th, 2023, so this will be kicking off your year. Yeah. Friday night, we're going to have a free movie night, and the doors open at 6, and the movie is a classic. Can't go wrong. Mark, 100%. That was good.
Hey, I got the
I got to give you the credit.
I got the idea from David. So, thanks, Dave Bellini.
Sort of, but that's okay. But anyway, it's going to be Superman, the movie from 1978. You can't go wrong with a Christopher Reeve version of Superman. But before the movie, we are actually premiering a film that Well, it started out as a play, but now it's a film that I wrote and perform in. Oh, back to
Good
me.
for you. I told you you're good at this.
Look how that happened.
Oh, that's why you're the host.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. But anyway, no, it's a 10-minute film, and it's about the pandemic. And I don't want to give too much away, but it's hopefully relatable to everybody because we all kind of went through the same thing in different, just kind of being in your pajamas a lot. I can remember when my pajamas matched. I was like,
I did that purposely?
I said to my husband, I will be taking my dinner in the dining room because I am dressed up. Like, this is big.
That's funny.
But anyway, well, I think you guys are doing a great job. I mean, the buzz is big around town. Like, people are just like, when are we going to go to karaoke? I'm thrilled about the job fair. The Rebels sell themselves. They always do a great job. But thank you. Thank you for stopping by. Anytime you want to come down, we'll do a little chitty chat.
Yeah, thank you for this opportunity. I know on behalf of the Knights and Dean and myself, I mean, we appreciate you and David giving us the recognition so the community knows that we are here.
Right.
Because you drive by the building sometimes, and it's like, what is that? What do they do there?
Yeah.
Right? And
You're right.
we
It's
want
just kind of a
transparency.
municipal building.
Yeah.
But that's the other thing that's really clever on your part is that you don't really have to spend a lot of money on outside decorations or signs, right? Because you're
Right.
doing it from the inside out. You're having people in, you're having families in, and then the word, nothing better than word of mouth, really.
True. Very true. Especially, when we are a nonprofit and we try to mitigate costs, not just for us, but we want to mitigate the cost for other nonprofits in the community, right? We want to support their cause as well.
Right.
Melrose Be Kind and to say, come on, what a great.
Oh my God, that's the whole weekend. So Friday night is the Rebels, November 18th. I'm glad you brought this up. And then Sunday is Kindness Day here in Melrose, which has really grown. I think it's the 7th year.
It is.
And it is just, the things that people come up with, and it's just taking an ordinary day and making it super duper happy.
And on top of that, if I can make one more
Please.
plug. So Stephanie Nelson, who is organizing that event, we are going to kick it off on Wednesday, the 16th, at the Knights of Columbus's karaoke charity night. And Stephanie will be there at her table, and you can come in and make a donation to the Be Kind program, and the proceeds and profits from that evening will be given back to her and her nonprofit.
Oh,
from
see,
the Knights of Columbus.
See, that might be my Stevie Nicks night.
There you go.
That's what I'm thinking.
Bring the pipes.
Mark and Dean, thank you so much for stopping by. Like I said, we'll do it again. Lots of fun things to look forward to. What is the website one more time?
That is melroseKofc.org.
Excellent. All right. Thanks a lot.
Thank
Thank
you.
Good night, everybody.
Thank you, Dave. Good night, everybody.